strike three. Carlton freezing him at the plate. And Florida State eliminates Cal State Fullerton, hanging on to a 6-4 win in Omaha.
That call's courtesy of Sirius XM. Confederation Cup, Germany upended Australia 3-2. In college football, Sooners quarterback Baker Mayfield pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges and fleeing from police in Arkansas. I'm David Gascon.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set,
just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Finally, Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swan back at it once again. 316 Greystone Boulevard. Fast-paced, action-packed, hurry up and no huddle sports talk programming for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands. Heard around the world on the iHeart radio application. Downloaded today. It is free. The Clemson Sports Talk app, also free. And we appreciate each and every one of you for being a part of what we do here, no matter if you're listening to the podcast editions of the show or if you're listening live here on iHeart Radio, Fox Sports Radio, and broadcasting on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. 803-978-1832 is the number, 803-978-1832. Lots of topics coming off the heels of this past weekend. Hope you had a great Father's Day with your family. I know I certainly did enjoy it. I will say this, the waking up aspect of Father's Day did not go as planned because right off of the hoof, man, the kids got at it. And I was like, oh, seriously, Father's Day? Really? I'm going to have to fuss at somebody, and I haven't even wiped the sleep out of my eye yet. But after that, perfect day. It was the first 4 minutes I was awake that I had to take care of business, and then we were able to have a fantastic Father's Day. Hope you did as well. 803-978-1832. A couple of guests lined up for you here tonight. I think you're going to enjoy. William Qualkenbush, of course, joins us from 105.5 The Roar at 6:20. And I'm seriously debating moving William Qualkenbush into the Monday slot that was typically held by Aaron Brenner from the Charleston Post and Courier. That may or may not be the case here this coming football season, but the debate is underway, at least on my side. Qualk has no idea about this unless he's listening right now, but I've been thinking about it. We usually have him on Tuesdays, but I don't know, with that vacancy coming on Monday, we've subtly tried to work him in on more Mondays lately since our man Aaron Brenner has moved out to the state of Colorado to be a mortgage broker. Also coming up in hour number 2 at 7:20, we've got Shane Dorr coming on the program. You're saying, who is Shane Dorr? Well, he is the co-owner and promoter for Palmetto Championship Wrestling. That's right, Palmetto Championship Wrestling right here in the Midlands. Going to find out a little bit about some of the names that maybe aren't quite the ones that you see on your television, but guys that still put it out there on the line for the local promotion. So really cool coming up with Shane Dorr at 7:20. But again, we'll begin here off the heels of a big weekend for our fine feathered friends as we peek over the fence in the backyard of Gamecock Nation. Of course, South Carolina with a big commitment over the weekend from DeCarrion Joyner out of Fort Dorchester High School. Now, Joyner, who is one of the top-rated quarterback prospects here in the state of South Carolina, is a 4-star prospect committed to South Carolina. He also said that he was going to, quote, get Xavier Thomas to flip. Thomas, who grew up a South Carolina fan, but is currently committed to Clemson, formerly of Florence, who's down now at IMG Academy in the state of Florida. DeCarrion Joyner went on to say that his goal is to win a national championship. He says, I need guys around me. He says Xavier Thomas, who is the 5-star defensive end, would be somebody that would fit that billing. He also mentioned trying to get in touch with Stephen Wynn. And kudos to Dakereon Joyner for taking the initiative that so many players now at Clemson have begun doing, including Xavier Thomas, which is recruiting your program, trying to build and improve on your program. And for South Carolina fans, this was a good get. Now, this is a young man who at one point was interested in going to Clemson. The Tigers, of course, though, don't see him as a quarterback prospect right now in terms of what they're trying to do offensively. But for South Carolina fans, it is a unique direction, given the fact that while Jake Bentley may not be your prototypical drop-back pocket passer, he does have some versatility in the rushing game, and you see more of that now from quarterbacks, that dual-threat nature. You almost have to have it. Deshaun Watson, same way. It wasn't the largest part of his game, but it was absolutely something that was effective for him, especially when Clemson was taking on a team like Alabama 2 years ago in the national championship, and you saw it time and time again where Deshaun Watson drops back. Alabama runs 7 guys in coverage. Watson gives a pump fake, pulls the ball down, and then there's 15, 20 yards of open space in front of him. The question I think you have to ask yourself now, if you are the South Carolina Gamecocks, one is about the future in terms of your program at quarterback, and is this going to be a shift in the mentality and the approach to making this more of a dual-threat offensive philosophy, which I would be all for if I was a South Carolina Gamecock fan, because I know all too well how good it works. And two, I think on the other side is you're landing a 4-star quarterback who obviously has room to improve in his downfield passing game, but is a tremendous athlete. So for the South Carolina fans that are listening to Clemson Sports Talk tonight, I think you've got a good one here in Dakereon Joyner. I did, however, have to laugh just a little bit. And it's not a narrow-minded approach by any means, and you got to respect the kids who believe in themselves, and absolutely, that's one of the things I put in my son's bedroom the other day, 10 things that don't take talent. You're talking about effort. You're talking about, doing the little things. All the lists. You can look the entire list up. Being prepared. There are 10 things that take no talent at all. I'll give Dakereon Joyner this. I love the kid's attitude. I respect the attitude that he's got. But he did say, in terms of trying to convince people to come on board with him, to try to convince people to come join the South Carolina Gamecocks, he said everybody wants to play with a good quarterback, and hopefully they'll jump on board. The only problem I really see with that logic is the best quarterback in the 2018 class in terms of rankings is Trevor Lawrence, who is currently committed to Clemson. So it's not as if Joyner's joining South Carolina and Clemson's got chopped liver coming into the program. This is obviously a young man who very focused, very driven, and a very good football player. I don't know if he'll be able to sway these guys to come to Columbia, but if you're a Gamecock today, 2 things you take away. 1, you got a guy that wants to win. You got a guy that's willing to go out and try to flip the script, so to speak, on Clemson Tiger Nation here in the state of South Carolina. And number 2, you got a guy that's confident and believes in himself, and I think ultimately may tell the tale of what the future of the South Carolina offense looks like. And in 2017, in the modern era, and I know he's not coming into Columbia this year, but in this era of college football, dual-threat quarterbacks typically have done better and have been more successful than your pocket passers at the collegiate level. At the NFL level, a little different story. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. And speaking of the Clemson Tigers and Trevor Lawrence, they're not the only ones. Clemson is not the only one in the Atlantic Coast Conference with an absolutely fantastic quarterback commit coming in to the following recruiting cycle. You look at Florida State, who goes head-to-head with Clemson every time you turn around. They've currently got the commitment from the number 1 dual-threat quarterback, Justin Fields, out of Kennesaw, Georgia, as well. So Clemson and Florida State two teams that have been at the top of the Atlantic Coast Conference for nearly 6 years now have battled back and forth for conference supremacy, for supremacy in the Atlantic Division of the ACC. And realistically, that battle between these two should have gone back further. That's on us. That's on Clemson. You cannot fault Florida State. They had some ups and downs, but not many, most of which happened at the back end, of course, of Bobby Bowden's career there, where unfortunately I think Coach Bowden allowed his program to slip away from him just a little bit. But for the most part, Clemson, you weren't a threat to Florida State for a long, long time. You weren't really on the radar. It was Florida State and everybody else in the Atlantic Coast Conference. I mean, that's just the way it was, and that includes you, Clemson. But now it's a different story. Now these are two of the top teams in America. These are two of the teams that we've talked about potentially being the first ever to represent one conference in the college football playoff. It could happen. That's where these two teams are, I think, not only nationally, but maybe even more so. And this is where you've got to have a bit of a gap in between you and the rest of your conference. It's not to say that the Atlantic Coast Conference doesn't have very good teams. They absolutely do. Louisville is going to be a really good football team this year. Virginia Tech, I'm gonna wait for a minute on Virginia Tech. Miami's another team right now that's got a chance to be really good with Mark Richt down there. Plus, he is building significantly the number one rated recruiting class right now as we sit here today on June the 19th. But in terms of Clemson, Florida State continuing to battle at the top for supremacy in the ACC, it doesn't appear that that's changing anytime soon, simply because of the fact that these two programs are out there neck and neck battling for some of the top-rated players in the country. Now, Justin Fields, who is, again, the number one rated dual threat quarterback and the number 3 rated quarterback in the country, according to 247 Sports, 6'3", 221-pounder, runs a 4.5 40. So a really impressive athlete for the Florida State Seminoles, and a young man who, you know, a lot of people think is actually going to end up with the Florida State Seminoles ultimately. And again, you're talking about one of the hottest prospects in the country. 803-978-1832. Actually not committed to Florida State. I misspoke. Was committed to Penn State and then flipped his commitment. So again, or has flipped and is currently pursuing others, but it is trending more and more towards the Florida State Seminoles. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. Mike Farrell of Rivals tweeted out a couple of days ago that Justin Fields tells him that the best fit for him as far as the depth chart goes offensively are Florida State and Penn State. So there you go. So the former Penn State recruit who has decommitted from Penn State. But again, Clemson, Florida State, these two teams at the top of the ACC going back and forth. 803-978-1832. An interesting weekend in terms of the College World Series. I didn't know if I should watch or not. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't sure where I was supposed to be on that front. You know, if Monty Lee tells me, Swanee, you're not supposed to watch it, and I kind of felt like that's what Monty Lee told me, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. I did take a little sneak peek at some baseball yesterday. I watched a little bit on Sunday. I didn't really get a chance to watch any of it on Saturday, but I did watch some of, I believe it was Louisville and Texas A&M that was kind of on in the background where I was. But earlier today, Florida State eliminated Cal State Fullerton 6-4. So out in Omaha right now, Florida State and Coach Mike Martin survive and advance. They had lost their opener, and, you know, Coach Martin's team had struggled earlier this season. But in terms of survival now and really playing on the edge of the brink of disaster is certainly where they were for the majority of the season. The good news is for the Seminoles is that they survived their first elimination game out west. And for that fact, and because of that fact, Mike Martin still has a chance to maybe navigate his way to a College World Series title and a national championship, to which he does not have. On June the 17th, which was Saturday, the number 1 seed in the tournament, Oregon State, knocked off Cal State Fullerton 6-5. Get this, Oregon State, who is 55-4 right now, they were actually down 5-1 in that game, come storming back and win it 6-5. They play LSU tonight at 7 o'clock. LSU, by virtue of a 5-4 win over Florida State, sent the Seminoles to the losers bracket where they survived Cal State Fullerton earlier today. On Wednesday at 7 o'clock, Florida State will meet the loser of this Oregon State-LSU game in an elimination matchup. Now, in the other half of the bracket this past weekend, it was Louisville 8-4 over Texas A&M. Florida blanked TCU 3-0. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, it'll be Louisville and Florida. At 2 p.m. tomorrow, it'll be Texas A&M and TCU in an elimination game. By the way, in the opening round of the College Baseball World Series, every higher-seeded team won. So, there's only 4 games. It's not like it's a ton of baseball, but the higher-rated seed in each of those matchups did win, but probably most impressively was Oregon State battling back against Cal State Fullerton. I mean, Oregon State has been the best team in college baseball this entire season. They're riding a 21-game winning streak. 21-game winning streak right now. And you talk about an impressive ball club. They are, and now trying to do it, I know, without one of their top arms. 803-978-1832 on Twitter, at Clemson Sports. Again, coming up here on the program in about 3 minutes, our good friend William Qualkenbush steps in to go one-on-one with the great one. And then coming up in hour 2 at 7:20, we'll be joined by Shane Dorr from Palmetto Championship Wrestling. Looking forward to talking with him for a little bit about their organization, what it takes to put together an event like that. Do they need a little help in the squared circle? I mean, I'm just thinking, I could be a heck of a heel right now here in the Midlands. You're talking about the voice of the Clemson Tiger contingent here in the middle part of South Carolina, in Columbia. Oh, that's heat. I'm bringing heat if I step into the arena. Just give me the microphone. I'll go all Rick Rude on the crowd. Talk to them up about 56-7. Yeah, give them a little bit of that. I think there's something to this. I might look good with the gold belt on, too. Woo! You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of feeling the flow right now. Coming up, though, in about 3-4 minutes will be our good friend William Qualkenbush. Qualk was on vacation last week. Saw a picture of him. Not that I wanted to see, I don't think. Well, I know I didn't want to see it. William Qualkenbush, I'm assuming he's about 27, maybe. I'm going to have to ask him how old he is. He looked like me when I was a kid at the beach when my mom was lathering me up with the sunscreen.
You were serious about that?
Oh, yeah. Listen, his whole back was white. When I was a kid, they came out with this stuff that was supposed to be, like, real cool to use, to put on. It was, like, colored face paint that you would put on when you're at the beach, like blue stripes and stuff to really protect, I guess, your cheeks. Qualk looked like somebody had hit him with one of those on his back, like a white. I mean, I know the guy is a pasty fellow. But Qualk, my man, 50 SPF, maybe a little bit over the top, brother, especially with the layers. Look like Casper the Friendly Ghost on the beach. Probably scared some children. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to ask William Qualkenbush about that and much more when he joins us right after this.
When you have a need for a plumber, you need it fast and you need it done right. If you're dealing with busted pipes, maybe you need your toilet repaired or you're battling a clogged drain, break free from average service and experience the best with Freedom Plumbing. Call James Carwell and the staff at Freedom Plumbing to get the job done fast, on time, and most importantly, right the first time. Freedom Plumbing, your local 24-hour plumber. Call 803-447-0471 or online at freedom-plumbing.com.
Are you a business owner looking to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why ProRecruits.net is better than their competition. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net is also locally owned and has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call Chris today at 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Experience not only our pools, hot tubs, and lazy river, but also our delicious on-site banana boat lounge and cafe, family game room, fitness center, banquet facilities, and much more. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Business owners, time's running out. If your business caters to the bridal market and you want to get in front of hundreds of new clients in just one afternoon, then you need to be part of the 104.7 WNOK Carolina Bridal Showcase on July 16th. Meet face-to-face with engaged couples, book business on the spot, and network with other wedding pros at the largest bridal event in the area. Showcase your business in front of the clients you're looking for. 104.7 WNOK's Carolina Bridal Showcase, July 16th at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Presented by Carolina Bride Magazine, American Floral, Columbia Bridal Associates, and Costco Productions. Reserve your space today at BrideCityShows.com. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show now at 978-1832 or text 803-450-0086.
Yeah, the beach music hits here from now until August 1st. Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan. We give you 2 months of beach music hits. And, man, you talk about a guy that just came straight off of the beach, William Qualkenbush, right off of vacation. Qualt, what's up?
Swanee, this might be a little bit morbid and maybe a little too soon, but I got to say it. I'm just glad I didn't get shot in Myrtle Beach this week. I'm happy to be with you.
Hey, let me ask you something, man. I saw a photo of you, I believe, getting lathered up. Was this the annual Qualkenbush family trip to the beach?
It was. This was the I will call it the Clary, because it's my mom's side of the family, the Clary trip. We had 18 people in a house, 3-story house, and like 1 million bedrooms and bathrooms. It was an incredible time. And this is the first time in my entire life, Swanee, that I went to the beach and didn't get roasted within the first 3 days. And I thank my dad and my mom and whoever else, my sisters, aunts, uncles, everybody, that we really shared in the burden of making sure that my back and shoulders didn't get destroyed this time. And I'm very appreciative of that effort.
Well, listen, you and I both, we got a little bit of the pasty nature to us. I don't like to go out in the sun myself, but Qualk, I've got to admit, you would have probably gotten less sun had you been wearing a suit of armor based on what I saw on social media.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I was, I make the joke that I show up looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost, from about maybe 1st of August through the beach week. I get about 6 weeks of pretty good tan, and then after that, it's all over. It was really Casper the Friendly Ghost for, I would call it immediately post sunscreen application. It was quite frightening to look at, I must say.
All right, Qualt, let's turn our attention towards college baseball. I think we're allowed to. I wasn't sure. Was I allowed to watch the College World Series this past weekend or not, given Monty Lee's comments the other day?
You know what? I don't buy that he's not. I know he's not watching it, but he knows what's going on. He's got it on the tube. He's watching Louisville. He's recruiting, but I think he's sneaking a peek every now and then. I think for us, though, especially college baseball fans, we got to love what you watched the last couple of days. I mean, really, really good baseball.
No, it absolutely has been. And today, Florida State and Coach Mike Martin, who turned around their season, you could say, with their series victory over Clemson, they lived another day. They survived Cal State Fullerton 6-4, and they'll face the loser of that Oregon State LSU matchup. Boy, you talk about Oregon State. I know it's a tricky subject to talk about the situation that they've had occur over the past couple of weeks with the revelations about their star pitcher. But ultimately, to see that team come storming back against Cal State Fullerton, just kind of shows you that even without maybe their best hurler, man, they are still a very dangerous ball club.
Oh, they're very dangerous. I watched them against Holy Cross in the first game of their regional just because I hadn't seen them very much. I've seen some highlights and knew a little bit about their team. And, you know, when Oregon State's very good, their ERA is somewhere around 2, and they have really good starting pitching. We know all that stuff. But this is a gritty, tough offensive team that fights for at-bats. I mean, it reminds you of some of the first, like, Virginia teams that just never – you know, they never struck out. It reminds you a little bit of South Carolina
Sure.
where they won a couple times there, national championship. They just don't go down in at bats. They're not going to strike out on 3 pitches. They're going to work walks. They're going to sacrifice. They're going to do all the right stuff. And they never, ever, ever leave an opportunity hanging. They don't do it on the mound. If you give a pitcher a pitch, a free strike, he's going to take it. If you're swinging one out of the strike zone, you're done. If you give a guy, you know, you commit an error in the field, that run's going to score. It just feels like a really opportunistic team. I don't care how easy your schedule is. You don't go 55-4, whatever they are, 54-4, whatever it is now. That you don't do that without being on it, dialed in every single game and every single opportunity, and they've done that. Now, I know that there's some questions there, and I've had arguments with people. It's a very nuanced situation with a young man, the pitcher, who, you know, kind of unfortunately the Oregonian outed him as a registered sex offender. You know, that's really sad, and I feel bad for his teammates, but they have soldiered on without him, and I think that's to their credit.
Let's talk about Florida State briefly. I mentioned they survived today, and Coach Mike Martin's, you know, he's been as good as anybody in the country, and certainly I would say the best coach that's probably not gotten that national championship yet. It's kind of unique because he's had a lot of great teams. Some years maybe the best team in America, but he hasn't been able to pull it off. Well, now he's got a team that hasn't been spectacular. They have to battle now with their backs against the wall. Could that be maybe the key for him, is that this team doesn't have that same expectation even though they're out at Omaha?
Well, I think it does a little bit, because if you look at them on a stat sheet and you look at their players scouting-wise, there's enough bad tape on them, and there's enough, you know, middling to poor numbers to suggest that you can beat them. And you know, the weird thing about Florida State's season is they were so banged up early on that they really got behind the 8 ball, and they had to kind of climb, scratch and claw up out of there.
Yeah.
And I still say maybe the turning point for them was probably the turning point for Clemson in the wrong direction, and it was that game that Clemson won. The first game of that series that Saturday, when Clemson got up by 1 million. What was it, like 12-2 or something?
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
Went out. It was something like that, and then the Tigers gave up a bunch of runs. It was reminiscent of when Clemson went to Omaha in 2010. They had the big lightning storm. They were shutting out Arkansas. Came back the next day. Clemson won the game, but Arkansas scored all the runs, and the Tigers were never the same. It felt like Clemson was never the same. But that was the first time Florida State was really healthy all year, that they had all their bullets in their gun, so to speak. And boy, they really played well down the stretch. You don't accomplish the things they accomplish without playing, as I said with Oregon State, a consistently elite brand of baseball. And for Mike Martin, I feel like the recruiting has suffered a little bit in recent years. He relies a lot on the junior college kids from the Panhandle of Florida and from South Georgia, and when those guys don't pan out, I mean, you shuffle them in and out quickly enough that it doesn't matter as much, but it's also hard to build year to year. And so I think they've caught lightning in a bottle, and they needed to with this bunch, because their roster turns over, in a lot of ways every 2 years instead of 4, and that can be harmful. But he not coach of the year, but coach of the second half of the year, he might get my vote with what they had to pull themselves out of and the way they were able to do it. On
Twitter, he's at Qualt Talk. You can follow him, and of course, he writes the Qualt Talk blog for the Clemson Insider, and of course, does a fantastic job working up at 105.5 The Roar with Kelly. So you guys returned to the air today, and I imagine it was like a reunion on air.
It was a little bit. Roy Philpott, my esteemed colleague, he left our station. His Friday was his last show.
Sure.
And so we were in 12 to 3 time slot. So it was nice. And, the good thing is that about 1 million things happen on vacation, and so we had a lot to talk about. Heck, Paul George and the NBA draft trade, and Clemson baseball, where all kinds of unexpected things, good and bad, happened in the draft for Clemson and for Clemson's players. You had certainly the College World Series, the landscape there, the U.S. Open, that was tremendous. There was a lot to talk about that had the Louisville stuff, for crying out loud. Rick Pitino, I swear he could go in a shopping mall stabbed 3 people, killing them all, and then injuring 8 on his way out, and the guy would get an extension and a raise. You can't kill that guy. You can't get him out of a job. So plenty of stuff to talk about. It was a little bit of a reunion because Kelly was on the West Coast in San Diego, and I was out at Dirty Myrtle and enjoying life. So it was nice. It was nice to be back at work today.
I heard that, Quatway. Man, it's always good catching up with you. Best of luck to you guys, and I look forward to speaking to you real soon.
Swanee, likewise, my man. Keep being awesome.
There he is, William Qualkenbush, again on Twitter, at Qualt Talk, giving us the inside scoop on the College World Series. And again, Florida State surviving earlier today, 6-4 over Cal State Fullerton, 7 o'clock. We're about 30 minutes out from the number 1 overall seed, Oregon State, and LSU squaring off. That, of course, will be on ESPN. 803-978-1832. Some news out of the Clemson Tiger basketball program coming up here when we get back in about 3 minutes on Fox Sports Radio 1400. Also on the iHeart Radio app, as Brad Brownell has found his man in terms of his brand new assistant who will replace Mike Winnecki. We talked about it potentially happening a little over a week ago, but now it is confirmed. We'll tell you who when we return.
If you want a mortgage through a member-owned and community-driven credit union, then Mid-Carolina Credit Union is your choice. Low mortgage rates with personal and local service. MMCU can also help with all your financial needs, like pre-checking with no minimum balance, auto loans, credit cards, and so much more. Visit MidCarolinaCU.com to find out more.
Mid-Carolina Credit Union, our community, our focus.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Tonight, expect on and off showers, some of them pretty active, but they will wind down overnight. The temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Tomorrow, pretty active day of storms, plenty of clouds, highs low to mid-80s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia.
Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia's snooze service just launched. When your Toyota needs scheduled service, simply drop your vehicle off by 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we guarantee to have it ready to drive off the lot by 7 a.m. the next day. Visit Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia today.
With so many music apps out there, ever wonder which one's the most popular in America? The one that lets you listen to live radio, custom radio from your favorite artists, and download unlimited music. Oh yeah, and the one that's free. If you guessed iHeartRadio, you'd be right, and you wouldn't be alone. Come join millions of music fans who rated iHeartRadio the #1 free music app in America. Download the free iHeartRadio app or listen at iHeartRadio.com.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at ClemsonSportsTalk.com.
Oh, yeah, the beach music hits. Clemson Sports Talk. Fox Sports Radio, iHeart Radio. Be young, be foolish, but be happy. Be happy that we are 20 days into June, getting set to flip the calendar to July. That means we're a month away from August. I try to warn you. I give you all the heads up possible. I mean, I come in here week in and week out, and everybody is so concerned about how long it is until we get the college football season.
Well, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going to do what you all think I'm going to do, which is just flip out.
You don't have to flip out. Be patient. Take in the podcast. Take in the live show. And before you know it, you'll be flipping your calendar to August. I guarantee you. Make this show 2 hours of your day. If you're podcasting it on an iPhone, use Overcast. You can make it like an hour and 30. If you're using an Android, use Podcast Addict. You can do the same. You can trim out some of the time with the speed change. And no, I will not sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's incredible the way they've done that now. I listen to 2 hour shows in less than an hour sometimes. The guys are talking fast, but you adjust. You get used to it. But college football season will be here soon enough. For college basketball fans, though, Clemson Tiger basketball fans specifically, it was finalized and announced today that Antonio Reynolds-Dean has been named as Clemson's replacement for Mike Wieneke. Reynolds-Dean most recently was an assistant coach at the University of Rhode Island. Of course, they won the Atlantic 10 in 2017. And, of course, because of that fact, they were in the NCAA tournament. They went 25-10. They lost to Creighton by 3 points. They defeated Creighton and then lost, I thought something was funny when I said that. They defeated Creighton. I remember that matchup. And then lost to Oregon, eventual Final Four team, by 3 points. Reynolds-Dean, I remember from my time back in college, we're the same age. I remember him playing for a very good Rhode Island ball club. He's the only person in Rhode Island team history to play on and coach on an Atlantic 10 Conference Championship team. He was a starter in 1999 that won the title with a 2-point win over John Chaney's Temple Ball Club. Brad Brownell saying, we are excited to add Antonio Reynolds-Dean to our coaching staff. He was a great player who got the most out of his ability, and now he takes great pride in teaching the game in the same manner. Reynolds-Dean was inducted into the University of Rhode Island Athletic Hall of Fame in 2015. He's a native of Atlanta, Georgia. Finished his college career as one of just 3 players in Rams history to tally at least 1,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, finishing his career from 1995 to 1999. You know, and that would have been perfect for me. I would have probably gotten some additional time to work because that's when I arrived at school, but I didn't quite graduate until 2002.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
Yep, that was me. At least it makes me feel young when I show off my Clemson ring to somebody who actually graduated in 4 years. They think I'm 3 years younger than they are, when in actuality, I potentially could be older. But again, Reynolds-Dean comes into this Clemson Tiger program, and now, as a member of this coaching staff, will be challenged. And I think that's the right word. We'll be challenged in selling this program. We'll be challenged in convincing great players why they should come play at Clemson. And that's where I think Clemson basketball has to be. They have to be on the recruiting trail selling great kids on coming and playing here. You're not going to be successful at Clemson University recruiting marginal players. It's just not going to happen. You've got to find diamonds in the rough, but they've got to be some great ones as well. But you've got to be, I think, willing to go out, challenge yourself on the recruiting trail to go sell your program to the best of the best. figure out a way to convince that kid, and I don't know what the answer is, and maybe you don't want to spend time on that kid because you think it's a lost cause, but there's got to be something in you can be the greatest. You can be the man that everybody remembers that played here. You can be the face in the future of Clemson Tiger basketball. I mean, that's what I think the mindset has to be. Is it an easy sell? Absolutely not, but there's no easy sell. There isn't an easy sell. I mean, yeah, sure. You're Duke, you're North Carolina, you're Kansas. It might be easy or easier to land big-time talent, but there are no easy sells. It's very, very tough. But if I'm Brad Brownell, you've got to get away from the transfer market. You've got to find a way to keep kids in your program. It can't be guys are coming in for 2 years, guys are leaving, new guys are transferring in. There's no continuity there. There's no chemistry there. You've got to bring in 4-year, 5-year players and just occasionally sprinkle in, a 2 and done. If you get a 1 and done, that's fantastic. But get a guy that can go after a sophomore year. Get a couple of those guys. And all of a sudden, you really change the complexion of your basketball program. And I will forever point to Leonard Hamilton and Florida State for all the naysayers who say, well, Clemson just can't do it. Clemson just doesn't, it's not a basketball school. Well, neither is Florida State, but it's got that feeling now, doesn't it? You bring in a kid like Raton Mays, and all of a sudden he's putting up big numbers. You just continue to build. Then Bacon sizzling from the perimeter. You just continue to build. That's what you got to do. You got to go get one impact guy. Then on top of that, you have a year like this year where they bring in the Isaac kid, and all of a sudden, you're a monster basketball program. I mean, you're a threat in the NCAA tournament. Did they have the finish that maybe it looked like they might have early on in the season? No, they didn't. But they went from being, not really even discussed in casual conversations about basketball programs to this year where the conversations, not locally, not in Tallahassee, but nationally, the conversations were, could this be one of the more talented teams in college basketball? And that conversation existed at one point for the Florida State Seminoles. That's where I need you to be, Tiger Nation. That's what we need Antonio Reynolds-Dean to do. And I think we need Brad Brownell to I don't know if it's changed the philosophy, but certainly figure out why you have so many kids leaving and why you're forced to use the transfer market to bring in talent. 803-978-1832. Stay with us through the break.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
This is Barb, and you're on Pit Stop Radio. Pit Stop is your local go-to for gas, drinks, and snacks, right? But did you know they're also the place for great fresh food like fried chicken, pizza, hot dogs, subs, even seafood? That's right. Many pit stops have Chester's Chicken, Piccadilly Pizza, Nathan's Hot Dogs, Subway, Blimpie, even Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. Hungry for something delicious, fresh, and convenient? Don't stop till you're at Pit Stop.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
You can dance every dance with the guy who gives you the eye. Let him hold you tight. You can smile.
Clemson Sports Talk, beach music hits for you here. Fox Sports Radio, iHeart Radio. Glad to be back on the Monday edition. Hope you had a great Father's Day weekend. If you got together with your dad, if you got together with your kids, all of those scenarios that could have played out for so many of you out there. Now, we used to use a hashtag quite a bit here on the program. Matter of fact, our hashtag has changed through the years. You may remember when we got on the air here, 4+ years ago, or heading into 4+ years ago, the hashtag was CST560. And then, of course, we weren't on 560 anymore. We moved over to 1400. And it became CST Show. And I still give it out. We don't use it as much. Some people, some of the more loyal, that's not fair. The more long-term listeners, I think that would be the better way to put it. People who are maybe a little more tech-savvy on Twitter understand the use of a hashtag, and they know that they can get to me pretty quickly by utilizing the hashtag. Still use CST Show. But over the weekend, I saw that Texas A&M got a commitment, and their head coach, Kevin Sumlin, tweeted out a hashtag to announce the commitment. It got me thinking about the coaches that do this and coaching staffs that do this. They can't, say, hey, Lawton Swan committed, but when somebody commits, they tweet out a little hashtag. So I thought it would be fun to take a few minutes and look at some of the coaches and their tweets that they use to respond. Of course, I think everybody knows Clemson's. But if you take a step away from Clemson Tiger Nation, I found myself hesitant to use Boom because of Will Muschamp here in Columbia, but that wouldn't be the one that South Carolina uses. Of course, they use hashtag Spurs Up to announce that a new player has arrived. Gus Malzahn goes with Boom. But that got me thinking because Kevin Sumlin uses Yes Sir when somebody commits to the Aggies. A little hashtag Yes Sir. So, you start looking around the country, and this is obviously a new phenomenon because, of course, Twitter not having existed in the respect in which it does now many years ago, and it does give fans, of course, a way for them to be able to go, something's happened. There's some good news coming. I mean, I know my Gamecock friends, when they see a hashtag Spurs Up, they're like, oh, yeah, what's the news? Who's the latest? And so they, of course, start looking around, trying to find that next one. I think Kevin Sumlin's, though, Yes Sir, may be one of the best out there. Just a simple Yes Sir. I mean, that's the way I say it. I don't know how you would say it. Tennessee, they tweet out Dominate, DOM1N and the 8. And that's the one that they'll use from time to time to put out. Coach Hugh Freeze at Ole Miss goes with Yahtzee when players, of course, have announced that they are committing to their school or to Ole Miss. But it is a unique dynamic because I think for fans, they get just a little antsy and a little, okay, what could this be? What's coming? Who's the name? And it's something completely different than we've ever seen because prior to this, there was no real way for coaches to communicate. Jim McElwain at Florida uses hashtag chomp chomp, and then Brett Bielema will go with a little woo pig to announce it over at Arkansas. Caller, welcome in to Clemson Sports Talk. What's on your mind?
How you doing, Lawton?
I'm great.
What got you so fired up on Clemson basketball this far out? One thing I did want to point out to you, you're talking about you just can't have transfer. I believe, and I don't think I'm far off on this, if Donald starts from Michigan, and I think Stakara, I might not be pronouncing that, from Valpo at Power, and of course you know the starting guards, our best player is Mitchell. 4 of the 5 players are going to be transfers that start.
Sure.
But what got you so fired up on that?
Oh, no, I was just Clemson announced they got a new assistant coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Thanks.
Antonio Reynolds Dean, the kid, I say kid. I mean, he's my age, but Antonio Reynolds Dean from Rhode Island was named as the assistant coach today. And what I was saying was I felt like where Clemson basketball's got to get, and maybe a guy like Reynolds Dean who's, pretty young. I mean, Brad Brownell's had younger recruits or recruiters, and I think Richie Riley, who has since left Tiger Town and moved on, I think Richie Riley was going to be kind of that next young recruiting dynamo maybe for Clemson. I don't think that Reynolds Dean is too old to still be that, but I think he's got to be, he's going to have to be a grinder for this Clemson Tiger team. They're going to have to they got to be willing too. I think that's the other thing. You got to be willing to go out and test the waters and market yourself to people that you otherwise would believe wouldn't come play for you anyway. I think you got to spend a little time on a guy that there's an old saying, you always miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I've joked here on the air that I thought you should offer every single McDonald's All-American. You probably should. Maybe one of them will come. But in reality, I think you've got to be willing to push the envelope if you're Clemson Tiger basketball in terms of recruiting. And you're never going to recruit on the same level as a North Carolina or a Duke. But I don't think that it's unreasonable to believe that you should be able to go out and bring in some two-and-dones, some guys that leave after a couple of years. I know that doesn't build the best continuity in your program, but at least you're giving yourself a player or two to build a foundation of success around. A foundation of, man, you know what? This kid went to Clemson. I want to go to Clemson. You got to be cool. I mean, Clemson's got to be cool. How else are you going to bring people in? It's not renovating Little John Coliseum. It's not making the locker rooms a little bit nicer. It's got to be a fun, cool place to come. And I don't think that the perception is, in some respects, fun and cool when you have a lot of guys transferring out. You've also got some guys transferring in too, but continuity is not what it once was for Clemson Tiger basketball. And it's my hope that maybe Antonio Reynolds Dean can come in and be a spark for this team in terms of the recruiting trail and find a way to change things. Certainly South Carolina, not loaded with five-star talent. Dozier was one, but to watch their program and Sindarius Thornwell, who was just a ball player, do what they were able to do, I mean, you tip your cap. You're like, wow, run to the Final Four? Now dream of that. I would dream of that. Send it back out to the phone lines real quick. We got about a minute, caller. What's up?
Hey, buddy, just a quick question. Don't you think it'll be important for Clemson to try to focus on in-state talent first? To try to lock up South Carolina before really becoming successful? Because I think both South Carolina and Clemson has missed a lot of in-state talent as of the last couple of years.
Well, and that's a big problem, and you've had that problem going back forever. I mean, I don't care who you're talking about. I mean, you make a great point. You can go back to Raymond Felton going from Latta to North Carolina and playing. You can talk about Seventh Woods. I mean, yeah, absolutely. The state is key. It's absolutely key. And for whatever reason, Clemson struggled on that front as well. Excellent point. We got to get out to a break. I know we got a caller on hold. I don't know if they'll want to hold through the top of the hour, but feel free to do so, and we can continue this conversation about Clemson Tiger basketball right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio again. As it was announced earlier today, Antonio Reynolds-Dean is the new assistant coach at Clemson. We had heard that was going to take place. I guess had to go through the proper channels and all that. The Board of Trustees did approve the hiring today, and Brad Brownell made it official. So we're back at the top of the hour here on Fox Sports Radio with more Clemson Sports Talk.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Business owners, time's running out. If your business caters to the bridal market and you want to get in front of hundreds of new clients in just one afternoon, then you need to be part of the 104.7 WNOK Carolina Bridal Showcase on July 16th. Meet face-to-face with engaged couples, book business on the spot, and network with other wedding pros at the largest bridal event in the area. Showcase your business in front of the clients you're looking for. 104.7 WNOK's Carolina Bridal Showcase, July 16th at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Presented by Carolina Bride Magazine, American Floral, Columbia Bridal Associates, and Costco Productions. Reserve your space today at bridecityshows.com.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at cofsc.com. Then visit our 12,000 square foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit cofsc.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
With so many music apps out there, ever wonder which one is the best? It's iHeartRadio. Not because we say so, because you do.
iHeartRadio!
iHeartRadio is the #1 rated music app in America. It's the only one with live radio, artist stations, and an unlimited selection of music. All in one app. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Download the free iHeartRadio app or listen at iHeartRadio.com.
More than 8,000 children in South Carolina need a caring adult to serve as their voice in family court. The time guardian ad litem volunteers spend investing in these children can change their lives forever. To volunteer, you must be 21 years old, able to pass a background check, and passionate about serving children. Become a guardian ad litem volunteer today and make a difference for tomorrow. For more information on how you can help, visit scgal.org. That's scgal.org.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app.
Fox Sports Trending
now.
Get things going first in the NBA. According to several sources, Kevin Durant will opt out of his one-year deal with the Golden State Warriors. Not to balance, he's just going to sign a new one-year deal, but he's not going to take the $28 million option for the upcoming season in the efforts to sign Andre Iguodala. Meanwhile, Paul George, he's telling the Pacers he's going to be out after the end of next season, so the team is looking to move him right now. And according to David Aldridge, Indiana is looking for 2 first-round picks and also a starting player in exchange for the All-Star. In college football, Oklahoma Sooners quarterback Baker Mayfield pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges of public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and also fleeing from police in Arkansas. In Major League Baseball, Reds have placed shortstop Zach Cozart on the 10-day DL with a strained quad. I'm David Gascon.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set,
Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's Primetime right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, thanking you for being a part of the show. Coming up a little later in the week, Zach Lentz, who was in studio with us last Wednesday, he'll be back with us on Wednesday. And then Zach and maybe some Lowell the intern. I'm not sure what Lowell's schedule will be this week, but I think Zach and Lowell may end up co-hosting the show one day, and then Zach may do it by himself here on Friday. We'll see how that all works out, though. Looking forward to Zach filling in for me, giving me a little time off, some much-needed rest and relaxation, a little getaway, if you will. Yeah, I talked about the hashtags, and I said you guys know the Clemson one. I'm assuming you know it's all in. But anyway, we got Clay listening to us over in Lexington. He's been on hold for a while now, so we'll run over to him and see what he's got to say about Clemson Tiger basketball. Clay, what's going on, man?
Hey, Lawton. I just wanted to touch bases about what you were saying earlier is making, Clemson basketball kind of relevant. And, we see it in football. You've got a lot of the ex-players that come back and really kind of help the sport and help the team. I called you a while back. I go back to the era of Eldon Campbell and Dale Davis and those guys.
Sure.
I think if we can get some support from the players that played in Little John and were those guys that they could get back and help make the relevancy to these younger guys, and like you said, make it a place they want to come to. Because right now it's just you got a coach and the coaching staff trying to make that, and if we could get the support from our alumni and the guys that played, I think you'd see a different caliber of a player that would want to come and play there, because there's a lot of guys that have played at Clemson and have gone on to bigger and better things in the NBA and overseas, and we don't get a lot of support from those guys. And I don't think that we get their support from them because we don't go after those guys. I'm sure every last one of them, if we're asked, would more than want to come back and be an ambassador to the program, because yeah, it's the ACC, and there's no reason we can't do better. And I've said it for years. It's kind of the Carolina curse is you be the best in football, but basketball has struggled. Well, Carolina's turning that corner, and they're starting to do it. Well, Clemson, there's no reason Clemson can't turn that corner with basketball and get players like you said, the 2-year guys, and it comes from the guys that have been there and done that and proven. We got rings. We got NBA championship rings that are out there.
Sure.
So why not utilize those resources or ask them? Because I wonder if we were even asking those guys to come back and help kind of be the ambassadors, be the guys that want to do that. I don't know. Maybe we are, and they're not wanting to come. But I would question, are we doing that?
Well, let me throw a scenario out there, and you tell me if you think this is possibly the cause. And I don't know that it necessarily exist everywhere, but because so Clemson's got you can go through the list if you want: Horace Grant, Dale Davis, Eldon Campbell, Chris Whitney. We can go on and on about who these guys are. The problem is, I think there's so few who are former professional quote stars and recognizable names that most of them set up shop wherever they live. You know what I mean? I don't know how many of them return to their home or how many of them just continue to stay where they last played or whatever. But their families kind of get entrenched in these areas where they're playing basketball. I can get prime example. Greg Buckner still lives out in a suburb of Dallas. And to sit here and think about, Clemson and those guys, are they coming back to the area? I don't think most of them are. And how do you get them back when you don't have the quantity? If you had a ton of other guys and maybe someone went overseas and didn't play all that well or didn't do all that well and then they returned, then maybe. I mean, we had Terrence Oglesby on the show, what was that, Thursday or Friday, Clay, and he talked about being back in Clemson, but Oglesby's not a name like the other guys would be. And we just don't have enough of those, in my opinion.
No, and I agree. But the thing is, we do have those names, and are we utilizing those names? And so take a Eldon Campbell, because he was a guy that I knew, and I was there. And yeah, he's older, and these younger guys really don't know him, but he's an L.A. guy. I mean, he's out there in the midst of L.A., Inglewood, California, and does he have to come back to Clemson? Maybe not. When we talk about recruiting trail, and you got these coaches, utilizing those guys in those areas.
That's a good point.
And we have to go out to those regions. We don't want to recruit around the Southeast all the time. We want to go after everybody. Eldon Campbell from Inglewood, California, came to play at Clemson in 1986.
Yeah.
Okay? We were recruiting in California in 86. So why can't we recruit in California now? I mean, there's no reason we can't do that. And you're exactly right. These guys are entrenched in their communities, but those are communities that we can go after, guys that are caliber players. I mean, where's Lonzo Ball? I mean, he's a California guy, right?
Yeah.
Not that we would ever go after that guy, or maybe we should, but those
right.
But the thing is, there are players there, and so we've got resources in those areas. And I just question, are we asking our guys to help support? And I would believe, especially as well as football has gone and is going, that these guys would, and most of them are, post-career a lot of times, but they would love to have an opportunity to be an ambassador. I would very hesitate to say that they would say, no, can't do it. All you got to do is ask. And we've got the troopers. We've got the guys or the coaches that are going to go out and stomp the field. But we've got these players that could be in those fields and go, hey, I'm going to be in California. Could you come over here or so-and-so? We want to meet this person or wherever it might be and utilize the resources. I just think if we ask them, I guarantee you they'll come.
Clay, man, I love the thought, buddy. Appreciate the phone call, and thanks for holding. I know it's tough to hold through the top of the hour break. Look, I agree. Matter of fact, I'm posting right now over in our chat that we have during the show. If you want to be a part of that, you can go over to Twitter at Clemson Sports, and there's a link that you can click and be a part of the program that way. But I love the idea that Craig says of a network of former basketball players who are active in their communities and rooting and recruiting for Clemson. I like that, Clay. I'm going to see what anybody else thinks about it. That's a pretty good idea, actually. Because you could say, hey, look, Eldon, can you help us out in California a little bit? Here's some Clemson swag. Send him some. I'm assuming it's not a violation at this point to send stuff to players. I'm pretty sure. He can afford it. Can you buy some Clemson swag to wear around? And go see some of the best basketball in the area. You see a great player, talk to him about where you played. Talk to him about your time with the Lakers. This, that, and the other. I mean, I don't know where Dale Davis is now, but if he's in Indiana, then there you go. And make these guys like your satellite ambassadors, just reaching out to the community, reaching out to new basketball players. And if they're doing that in the cities where they are formerly playing or where they have played, then they're a name. They're a notable name. Maybe not today, but had you capitalized on them, some of these guys, when they were at their end of their careers, then I'm with you, Clay. I think let me tell you, it could be one of the more genius moves for Clemson Tiger basketball to pull something like that together. I kind of like this network of former players who are recruiting actively the communities in which they played, assuming they stay there, assuming they don't return home when they're done. But even if, let's say that you got 10 guys in the NBA and half of them stay in their community. Man, that's 5 new former players, and maybe they don't want to do it. Maybe they don't have time to do it. Maybe they don't care to do it. But some of them, and I like to believe, and maybe this is just my pie-in-the-sky sports talk and Clemson graduate mentality, but I like to believe that the players want to see their former program be as successful as I want to see my former university be successful. I can't imagine that it's a large number of guys that walk away that go, forget that place. I'm glad I got my time to play, and I'm in the NBA, and I'm not even going to worry about them anymore. I think most of them want to give back to the school that gave them so much. I think most of them would be up for something like that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're not building that right now in your basketball community at large, just inside your locker room with the players that are there, if that's not something that you're actively doing, I think you're missing the boat on some opportunity. And what I mean by that is you're saying to guys like Shelton Mitchell and Eli Thomas, you're saying, look, man, you guys are going to be the next big thing from here. You're going to do fantastic things. You're going to go on and play at the next level. You're going to play overseas, whatever. But when you're done, we want you to be an ambassador. We want you to be a lifelong Clemson Tiger. We want you to be wherever you are, wherever you're planted. We want you to bloom and spread Clemson Tiger Nation because we want you to be the catalyst for the future. We want you to be the difference in this basketball program, not necessarily during your 4-year window that you're here, but from the day you walk on campus until the end of your life. We want you to be an ambassador for this program. And Clay, maybe that's what this program is missing. Maybe other programs are doing it better. We certainly don't have a name like Michael Jordan. We don't have a Christian Laettner. We don't have a Bill Walton or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, none of that. But maybe you're on to something. I kind of like the idea, to be honest with you. 803-978-1832. I like it a lot. We did get a text message from a listener who says, hey, man, Avery Holmes was from California. He transferred in from California. He's actually from Oregon. But, yes, so there has been a little West Coast flavor. But, again, transfer and not knocking Avery by any means. I mean, Avery Holmes was a tremendous three-point shooter. I think he actually worked out for maybe the Los Angeles Lakers this past weekend. But I think all of these guys, I'm with you. I'm with you, Clay. I think it's a genius maneuver. The other thing I think that Clemson basketball needs to do, and here's the swerve. Brad Brownell, I don't care if it's got to come out of your pocket, buddy. It doesn't matter if it comes out of your pocket. Man, pull it out of your pocket. Take about $60,000, maybe $80,000 out of your own back pocket. Go to the board, whatever. You say, man, we want 2 exclusive content guys. We want not guys that are working for the football department all year and then maybe do some stuff for us a little bit. And I don't know how that whole system is set up between the football program and the basketball program and in terms of the graphics and marketing and everything that goes on. But if I'm a coach right now, if I'm Brad Brownell right now, heck, man, I'll give you $120,000. Go get me 3. Maybe I got to pay more to get 3 really good guys. But whatever that price is, take it out of my salary and get me people on the floor with video. And they're doing some of it, but it is not on the level of what you've got at the football department. Not at all. Matter of fact, if I'm Brad Brownell, you might be better off, and I don't even know if this is legal, but you might be better off just going over to the graphics communications department or wherever you got to go to find these people and talk to the professors over there and say, hey, look, I want to create 4 endowments, 4 scholarships, and I want to pay for these kids to go to school. The only thing I ask in return is that they come and be a part of the Clemson Tiger basketball program. I mean, I don't know how that would work, but I think you've got to start thinking differently if you are Brad Brownell and Clemson Tiger basketball. Man, Dabo Swinney did it. You can hate rah-rah cheerleader Dabo Swinney, yabbo Dabo, do if you want, but he changed the culture and the mentality, and he started doing things that people weren't doing, and he went into Alabama's backyard and he brought in Thad Turnipseed. He basically looked at Alabama and said, what are they doing better than us right now outside of recruiting, which we've got to change on our own? Oh, social media and branding. AKA / kind of recruiting aspects as well. Let's go get a guy that can fix it for us. And not only did Clemson turn the corner, they're leading the way. They're setting the stage. It's a huge difference. Now, how do you pull that off in basketball at Clemson? I don't know. It's a lot easier to pull off stuff like that when you're winning. The social media videos look a lot better when you're 12-0 at the end of the season than 0-12. But it was a culture change, an attitude change, a change in the belief of what Clemson football could be. And the thing is, for basically my entire life, I'm born in 1977, and in 1981, Clemson wins the national title. And my whole life, the pie-in-the-sky dream was to get back to it. And all people would give you, all your rivals would give you was, man, that was so long ago. You can't talk about the 1981 national championship. Man, it's 1997. Well, do you have one? A lot of them will say, no, we don't have one. Well, then I can talk about mine. Well, good news, Tiger Nation. Not only do you have one, you just got the most recent one. So all those conversations have been shut down. Although you can't talk about the national championships are shut down. You got time to talk. You got years to talk. You got 2. You're joining an elite group of teams that have multiple national titles. It's not a lot. You put one more cherry on the ice cream sundae and hit 3, all of a sudden you're starting to get in rarefied air. I mean, it's not, you're not top 5, but it's not a lot out there. I think Minnesota's got 6 at some point along the way, if I remember correctly. We looked at that list a while back. You get to 3, you're starting to separate yourself from the normal college football teams. 803-978-1832 over on Twitter. You can be a part of the program. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show. Coming up here in a few minutes. Oh, this is going to be interesting, okay? You might remember a couple of weeks back, we had Conrad Thompson on the program. Conrad, of course, who hosts a couple of incredible wrestling podcasts. Man, they're getting like 200,000 downloads. Are you kidding me right now? I'm listening to one the other day. He says that One Man Gang, who was a Dorman High School graduate, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, wants to do a podcast. Well, if you're listening to One Man Gang and you need a host, I'm game. We can do it in addition to this. One night a week? Are you kidding me? I'll sit down with the One Man Gang and break down old school wrestling. But if you did hear that, I got a thing for wrestling. I just like it. And when I was a kid, we used to either go to the township, we used to go up to Rock Hill, occasionally you'd go over to the arena in Augusta, what's now the James Brown Arena, to watch some wrestling. Well, going to be really cool here coming up in a few minutes because we've got Shane Dorr, who is the co-owner and promoter of Palmetto Championship Wrestling, a local group of individuals here wrestling in the Midlands. We've got Shane coming up with us right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio and live on YouTube next.
Warm weather means fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, which can endanger your pets. Fleas and ticks can cause life-threatening disease, and mosquitoes transmit heartworms. There are some new, exciting, innovative treatments for the prevention of these parasites. Protect your pet. Consult your local authority, your neighborhood veterinarian. Brought to you by Midland's Veterinary Practice, where we care for the most valuable pets. Yours. Visit us at MidlandsVet.com on Facebook or Twitter. Call us at 750-7387, 750-PET.
Does your water have a bad taste and odor, high content of chlorinating chemicals, and hardness? Then call the plumbing pros at Metz Plumbing for a free water analysis. Metz Plumbing is the exclusive dealer for Connecticut Water Systems, the best drinking water system in the world.
732-PREP. You're on Pit Stop Radio, and here's what real customers have to say about their pit stop.
The people were really nice. Actually, I did pass another convenience store to get here, so I do it all the time.
Want convenience without compromise?
Don't stop till you're at Pit Stop.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Experience not only our pools, hot tubs, and lazy river, but also our delicious on-site banana boat lounge and cafe, family game room, fitness center, banquet facilities, and much more. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Business owners, have you had to let your last couple of sales hires go because they were not making quota year one? Want to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
Stay on top of today's pop culture. Ace and TJ Mornings and today's hit music all day on 104.7 WNOK.
Come on, you know I got you. Yeah, one, break the wall, break down the walls. Flip over the back and watch the love, baby. You know the Judas and how you please, baby. What I got is not from the least. Bring it to the stage in the rage of the beast. Step in the
Absolutely stepping into the arena here. Clemson Sports Talk, Fox Sports Radio 1400, the iHeart Radio app. I got to admit, again, before we went to break, I told you guys this, and I mean it. I've got a thing for wrestling. Going back to my days when I was a kid, I'd draw up. This wrestling taught me more about brackets than the NCAA tournament. I'd have my brackets. Abdullah the Butcher is going to be facing Road Warrior Animal and so on and so forth. I'm wrestling these bears for the belt. Oh, it was so much fun when I was a kid. I'd go with a little electrical tape to try to accentuate the pythons. They weren't quite 24-inch pythons. They're still not quite 24-inch pythons, but I would do it. And I guarantee you our next guest probably spent some time doing this as well. He's Shane Dorr from Palmetto Championship Wrestling. And Shane, man, welcome in.
Thank you, Swan. Thanks for having me.
Man, I tell you what, I'm so intrigued not only by what you guys are doing with Palmetto Championship Wrestling here in the Midlands, but the risk and everything that kind of goes into this. And how do you get into the business of being not only a promoter for Palmetto Championship Wrestling, but ultimately a co-owner there as well?
Well, you know, I can't. It's funny because I don't consider it like the typical everyday story. Kind of how it all started with me and my partner is just, you know, we both, with him being the nephew of the Fabulous Moolah, so it's kind of in his blood.
Oh, okay.
He kind of grew up around the business, but me, I was always that, you know, just that fan. You know, as a kid growing up watching these guys, larger than life heroes come to life. So, you know, growing up just as a fan. And then essentially what happened was we got together one day, literally, and, you know, he had inherited Moolah's ring.
Okay.
And, you know, he had it set up in his backyard. He would always have all the neighborhood kids come over and his family, and they would just play around in it without any actual experience in a ring. And then I came along. I moved into the area, and we became best friends through our love of wrestling. And essentially, we had advertised almost like a backyard show. And we actually were served with a cease and desist letter from the state because it was illegal just to advertise a wrestling show. There was all these like loops you had to jump through and licensing and different having a promoter's license and all these different things we didn't know about.
Right.
So essentially, we started out of anger and revenge because we're like, well, shoot, let's do what they say we have to do and prove them wrong. And fast forward 2 years later, here we are, and now we're one of the most, if not the most successful company in South Carolina right now.
It's incredible to me, Shane, because I can only imagine how difficult it is. Listen, I know the struggles that promoters had in the 1980s and 90s, not only keeping talent but paying talent and getting people's eyeballs. For you guys, though, to do this locally, are most of the guys and ladies who wrestle, are they local talent, or are these people that you're bringing in?
Well, a little bit of both. The majority of our talent are from right here in South Carolina. You have, and a lot of them have done some work for WWE. We got a gentleman, Big Game James. He's from Columbia, South Carolina. You got Kid Riot from Columbia, South Carolina. You got, John Schuyler. I'm sure you know who John Schuyler is.
Sure.
He's from Blythewood. So, we like to use local talent because the indies are the key to getting seen and getting noticed. And, and the indies help the guys achieve their dream, which is ultimately go to bigger and better places.
We're talking about Palmetto Championship Wrestling here with co-owner and promoter Shane Dorr, and you guys have an event coming up July the 7th at Vibe Church out on Clemson Road. It's called Revive 2, and again, that's July the 7th. Tell people how they can find out more information about the event and get out there to see you guys.
Well, the biggest thing is you can check us out on our website, which is pcw-pro.com, or the biggest thing you can do is check us out on our Facebook page at Palmetto Championship Wrestling. And I can tell you that July 7th, this is our second time at this venue.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably our most star-studded show yet. And we've had shows with Tommy Dreamer and Gunner, but just this show features nothing but the best local talent from North Carolina, South Carolina, and a little bit of Georgia, but it's going to be a star-studded show for sure.
Listen, I'm the Clemson guy in Columbia on the air. Do you need a good heel? I think I could be a good heel in this area.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of Clemson fans here in Columbia.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. Everybody's telling me. People on social media are like, Swanee, I got to tell you, there's a lot of Clemson fans there. Well, maybe I'm the baby face. I could be the baby face.
Well, what's funny is one of our shows, John Schuyler came out and he said he was cutting his promo and he said we're in Gamecock country, and he got a couple boos out from it. It didn't work out the way we planned it, but hey.
Shane, I got to ask you now, do you participate in any way outside of the promotion? I mean, are you an in-ring performer at any means? Are you a guy that's, on the call? What do you do during the promotion or during the events?
You can see me in the ring often. I actually wrestle as New York's greatest export. I'm one of the faces in the company.
Okay.
So you can definitely catch me out.
Man, this is incredible. And all this going on in the backyard, and you said you guys have been doing this for 2 years. Is the ring you still use Fabulous Moolah's old ring? Is this the same ring, or have you gotten a new ring since then?
We actually have two rings now. Moolah's ring, we're actually doing a little bit of reconstruction on it, but it will become our show ring again because it was originally our show ring. And we actually bought out another company in North Carolina, and we accrued their ring, their trailer, things like that. And that's now our show ring, but we actually have two rings.
Man, that's incredible. And so you guys have basically from the ground up, I'm assuming you've got, the graphics. I see the thing that you put together for Revive 2 that's going to be July the 7th at Vive Church on Clemson Road here in Columbia. But, I mean, you guys, the graphics and everything that kind of goes into putting together a house show, I mean, you guys have done that on your own, I assume.
Absolutely. I mean, one of our wrestlers is another guy right here from Lugoff, South Carolina. His name is Kevin Ray. He actually handles all of our graphics. So anything you see graphic-wise, it's all him. And he's very, very, very talented. See, all the wrestlers we use, they all have their own talents, and we can see how they can help us out as far as PCW goes as a company too. And then also, we had actually just started the Palmetto Wrestling Academy, which is head up by Ethan Case, which is he's definitely top 10 independent talents here in the Carolinas. So we actually have the opportunity to train people that want to become professional wrestlers as well. whether you want to be a wrestler, manager, referee, valet, whatever, we have the ability to do so.
Shane, and that's what I was going to ask you next, because I know that there are a lot of people out there that have often thought to themselves, man, I think I could maybe be a wrestler one day. It's good to know that you guys actually have something where people could actually go and take a couple of bumps, test the water, and see. Now, what does that entail, and where exactly is that located for people that might want to find out?
Well, it's actually located where we run most of our shows. Most of our shows are run out of the Warrior Warehouse. It's a mixed martial arts facility in Columbia on Two Notch Road. It's 7230 Middle Street in Columbia. And you can look us up online, the Palmetto Wrestling Academy. Actually, if you go to that website I said earlier, pcw-pro.com, click on Academy, and it breaks it all down for you, even down to the price. So we train on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 10. So if anybody ever even just wants to just give it a try, they can.
Yeah. Well, Shane, listen, we only got about 30 seconds, so I got one final question for you, and I know you guys are going to have a fantastic show on July the 7th at Vibe Church. Do you do something else? Is there another job? We only got about 25 seconds, or is this your job? This is it?
This is it for right now.
Wow.
Until the Lord calls me somewhere else, this is what I do.
Listen, man, I hear you. Well, best of luck to you guys. We're looking forward to working with you and having you on here. It's Palmetto Championship Wrestling. Of course, joining us co-owner and promoter Shane Dort. Shane, man, appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you for calling, Swan. We appreciate it, and we look forward to talking again.
Absolutely, man. Follow those guys on Twitter at Palmetto CW. Palmetto Championship Wrestling. Oh, yeah. Man, how about it? That's awesome. Look, I'm going. I'm going. Pack the kids up. We're going to the show. It's going to be awesome. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. It's Revive 2, July the 7th, out at Vive Church on Clemson Road. Stay with us.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 254 Stop.
Brakes for less.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripesports.com.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Introducing the new Lucky Charms Shake at Burger King. It's a mix of hand-spun vanilla-flavored soft serve, tasty bits of Lucky Charms cereal, and memories of watching Saturday morning cartoons in your PJs. The new Lucky Charms Shake at Burger King. Relive your childhood in a cup. Maybe it's the magical marshmallow pieces flying up your straw. Maybe it's the magically delicious taste. Whatever the reason, it's a good reason to head over to a Burger King restaurant and try one now. Only at Burger King. Also, try the Fruit Loop Shake now at Burger King. Shakes available for a limited time only. Participation varies.
Hi, my name is Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
Tonight, expect on and off showers, some of them pretty active, but they will wind down overnight. The temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Tomorrow, pretty active day of storms, plenty of clouds, highs low to mid-80s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia.
Get family pricing at Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia. 0 APR for up to 72 months on 2017 Toyotas. Or up to $7,900 off Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia.
Excludes TP9, includes $398 closing fee, 0 down, free credit based on 1389 bid and stock age 40, 53, 528.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money. Money, money, money. Dollar, dollar, dollar.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I had to go with the wrestling music again. I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling it. By the way, that's Shane O'Mac's music, but we appreciate Shane Dorr for joining us again from Palmetto Championship Wrestling, co-owner and promoter. So much fun at Palmetto CW. Listen, I don't think you can understand. This would be as close as I've ever been to having an opportunity to have someone give me a Irish whip into the ropes and come back off the ropes. Like, I've dreamed of that my whole life. The great thing about the bed, and my sister still has this bed, but the great thing about the bed that I learned to wrestle on, it was a kid's bed. It was probably, I would guess it's a full or queen bed. I'm not sure. It's not a king. I know that. But at the end, there were these, it was kind of sculpted. And so the bed rail or whatever had like these balls on it that were pretty big and looked like turnbuckles. And so, of course, I'm ramming the head of the ant. Are you kidding me? I might get to ram my own head into a real turnbuckle. I may get a chance to run off of the ropes at Palmetto Championship Wrestling. Listen, you guys don't understand. I'm like a 10-year-old right now. Okay? If Shane had told me, Swanee, why don't you come over here right now? We're working out. Come take some bumps. Come drop an elbow off of the top turnbuckle. Oh. Yes, even at 40, I would still give that a whirl. I would give it a whirl. It might hurt, and I might hurt for a few days. I'm interested. And again, if you are interested in local wrestling, local, right here, out of Columbia, for crying out loud, the Fabulous Moolah's Ring, once it's renovated. Revive 2, July 7th at Vive Church on Clemson Road here in Columbia. Front row tickets, $20. General admission, $15 at the door. 8 o'clock, July 7th is when the bell rings. Doors open at 7. It's on the calendar already. My wife has never been to a wrestling event. And the Swan means ever been to a wrestling event. Until July 7th, 2017. And we are going to both be there. Palmetto Championship Wrestling. I'm doing it. I'm in. I like this. I like where this is going on social media. The Spoon takes a scoop of the program. You remember him at Spoon Rob on Twitter. We don't hear from him the way we used to. But he says it's Clemson Sports versus Lowell the Intern in a loser leaves town match. That's the way it used to be. I'm kind of giddy right now. I apologize that I'm a little bit out of sorts here on the show that shakes the Southland, because the more I got to thinking about how close I was to a wrestling ring, the more excited I got. There's a lot of guys in that business that can't talk. I'm serious, Shane. If you need a mouthpiece, somebody to take a couple of bumps every once in a while, I do think I'm more of the heel. I think I've kind of got that appeal, being out there and talking for a guy can't otherwise talk. He can work in the ring, but maybe he doesn't have what it takes to get the crowd riled up. I'd like to think of myself as a little bit of a combination of The Rock, Stone Cold, and Ravishing Rick Rude. I mean, not physically yet. We're still working on that. That's a goal. You know, go in there in the ring with my tights painted. That's where that may be the future of this show. If things go south here at iHeart Radio, don't worry. I may be the up-and-coming star in Palmetto Championship Wrestling. I may have to throw up some more. May have to work out a little bit more. That'll be all right. There's always room for a gimmick. Okay? There's always room. You can hang out with us over in our Slack channel, clemsonsports.slack.com. That's where we chat it up during the show. We also chat during the day about recruiting, everything else going on in the world of Clemson sports. 803-978-1832. If you didn't even have any idea that there was professional wrestling right here in the Midlands, I would encourage you to check it out. Give it a whirl. Again, Palmetto Championship Wrestling, July 7th. That was exciting for me. I don't know. I'm re-energized. I'm feeling the flow.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. 803-978-1832. That's your number. Be a part of the show. College Sports Corner. Got to roll it over to the final segment of the program, so I will look a little further ahead. I did mention that Avery Holmes was working out for the Lakers. Did see some pictures of that over on social media a few minutes ago. But this is kind of a College Sports Corner topic, but not exactly. But get this. UNLV's new athletics director is getting to know campus by living in a dorm. This reminds me of a scenario where my dad came up to Clemson one weekend, and I was like, Dad, you should just stay at the dorm with me. And we ordered pizza. We did the whole thing, man. And I thought to myself, now, college was much different when my dad went to school than when I went to school, obviously. But ordering pizza, doing that whole thing, I thought it would, kind of take him back a little bit to yesteryear, so to speak. And then some of my neighbors went out in the hall and were yelling a bunch of cuss words. And he goes, what are they, practicing their enunciation? I said, perhaps. That's what they are doing. But UNLV's Desiree Reed-Francois is becoming a part of the community by living and staying on campus since starting her job on June 1st. She's been living in a dormitory on UNLV's campus. By the way, beautiful campus if you've never been there. Beautiful campus at UNLV. Rather than staying in a hotel or an apartment before she moves into her house, she, her husband, and her teenage son, they're going to stay in the dorms until July. She says it's been interesting to get to know our students. And when I met with a couple of recruits and their guardians, I was able to speak firsthand about what it's like to live in a dorm. I think it's pretty neat. Matter of fact, probably at some point along the way, the president of the university should have to stay at least one night in every dorm on campus, just to get a feeling for what people are going through. Because believe me, while I was in Johnstone for 3 years, I know how nice it was up in Holmes and McCabe. Don't think I don't know. Maybe if somebody had stayed in Johnstone with me, that place would have been fixed up a little bit quicker or torn down a little bit quicker. Final segment, the College Sports Corner, coming up after this.
Does your water have a bad taste and odor, high content of chlorine and chemicals, and hardness? Then call the plumbing pros at Metz Plumbing for a free water analysis. Metz Plumbing is the exclusive dealer for Connecticut Water Systems, the best drinking water system in the world.
732
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536
1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 college football national champion, Clemson Tigers.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Shaking the Southland weeknights, Fox Sports Radio, iHeart Radio, Lawton Swan. Appreciate you being a part of what we do here. Whether you're a podcast listener, again, podcast available for download almost immediately after the show goes off the air. Whether you're here for that, whether you're here live, however you take this show in, thank you for doing so. 803-978-1832. That's the number to always be a part of the show. But let me give out that website I mentioned earlier to chat with us. Again, if you're on Twitter, at Clemson Sports, there's a link in there that says join the conversation. You can do that. We'd love to have you chat over there. But maybe the easiest way or an easier way for you, try going to this website, clemsonsports.slack.com. And there's a ton of stuff. Baseball, basketball, football, live show, recruiting, talking points, tips, etc. That we throw out there. And in that talking points category, I try to throw in, some conversational pieces, some things for you to think through. For example, over the weekend, I talked about that Monty Lee had said he wasn't going to be watching the College World Series. I wanted to know your thoughts on that. Maybe even which 2017 recruit are you most excited to see on the field? Maybe your favorite story from hanging out with your dad at a Clemson sporting event. Lots of different conversation pieces in that talking points area. Feel free to comment. Feel free to chat during the show. It's a community. It will be built up, believe me. I think it's only going to get better. ClemsonSports.slack.com or go over to Twitter at Clemson Sports. Without further ado, though, our good friends down at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, they sponsor the College Sports Corner.
Clemson Sports Talk presents the College Sports Corner, brought to you by Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. Just a short drive down I-26 at exit 145A in Orangeburg. Now, CST reporter Lawton Swan.
Always good to be back with you, Johnny, especially here on a Monday edition of Clemson Sports Talk. We start in the College Sports Corner with some news out of NC State, where the Wolfpack will add former Tennessee football player Stephen Griffin. Stephen Griffin will transfer from Tennessee to NC State. He'll sit out a year. He'll have 2 more years to play. Griffin is the son of former Atlanta Falcon running back Steve Griffin. Griffin, who is a 3-star safety prospect out of South Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte, appeared in 18 games with 1 start in 2 seasons as a volunteer. So Dave Doran welcoming Stephen Griffin to the program. Again, he'll sit out the 2017 campaign before having 2 years remaining to play for the Wolfpack. Also today in the College Sports Corner, Baker Mayfield, quarterback at Oklahoma, accepts his plea deal and will pay a $460 fine for his arrest that took place in felony. I believe the total fines, the fines total came up to $483.20. Baker Mayfield will also complete 35 hours of community service and enroll in a university alcohol education program the beginning of the fall semester, which starts on August 21st. Baker Mayfield saying, as I stated earlier, I could not be more disappointed in my actions and the embarrassment that my actions caused for my university and my team. I am anxious to fulfill the responsibilities that have been set, and I am continuing to dedicate myself to the high standard that everyone rightfully expects from someone in my position, said new Oklahoma head coach Lincoln Riley. Baker has learned from his mistake and will continue to grow from it. The coaching staff and the team has every confidence in him going forward. Mayfield, of course, last year was a Heisman Trophy finalist, setting an FBS single-season efficiency record at 196.4 after completing 70.9% of his passes for 3,965 yards, 40 touchdowns, offset by 8 interceptions. Also in the College Sports Corner tonight, Georgia Tech, who's got a unique partnership with Russell Athletic. Apparently that partnership will be coming to an end. Hard to believe, but they are one of the few schools in America who wear the Russell Athletic brand. They are negotiating currently with Adidas, Nike, and Under Armour to be the new the new outfitter of the Jackets. Russell Athletics' presence in Division I college football has decreased in recent years. In 2016 and 17, Georgia Tech was reportedly one of just 4 FBS schools with a Russell contract, including Ohio State, Western Kentucky, and Southern Mississippi. So, again, a brand that was so present in college football for many, many years, not nearly what it once was, as Georgia Tech looks to move away from the Russell Athletic brand. Finally, outside of the College Sports Corner, but I guess technically still in the College Sports Corner to some degree, word on the street is that the Los Angeles Lakers favor drafting Lonzo Ball, star guard out of UCLA, whose reprehensible father shall not be mentioned here on the program henceforth. The Lakers also have their eye on Paul George and, wait for it, maybe my dream, LeBron James. I don't think LeBron's going to leave Cleveland by any means, but the Lake Show, LeBron Show, I'm all about that. By the way, speaking of the Lake Show, I did get to watch about the first hour of the Lakers versus Celtics 30 for 30. I think, was it 3 episodes? I haven't watched all of the first one yet. Oh, man, tremendous. Just incredible. And my son, who I told you has really taken interest in sports more and more, now that he's turned 8, turning 8 coming up, the past 6 months has just been a whirlwind for me, how much he's wanting to learn about sports. It's crazy. I tried to get him to watch it, thinking, there would be some good things in there for him to see and learn. And because the typical cliches, I have found, oddly enough, that playing NCAA football has helped me so much with communicating valuable life learning lessons that I've really wanted to communicate with him for a long time. But can't ever do it while he's playing a game. Traditionally have to do a lot of it after the fact. But we're playing NCAA football, and I'm able to communicate moments like, don't count your chickens before they hatch, son. He's over there celebrating a 13-0 lead, and I'm going, whoa, we got 3 quarters left to play here. Settle in. And little things like that. Just controlling your emotions when you're down 10, when you're down 14, continuing to fight back. And so many of these things have played out so perfectly for me. Even today, so much so that we were up 13-0. This story actually happened. And he was dancing and excited. I've already warned him about this. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. I remember my dad saying those things to me. And we're playing Boise State on the road. Boise State scores. Now it's 13-7. We turn the ball over. They score with like a minute left. They're going to go up 14-13. Oh, he's devastated. And I said, there you go, chicken counter. That's what happens when you count the chickens. And so they missed the extra point. It's 13-13. We've got the ball. I'm taking it down. I'm at the goal line. I'm getting ready to score. We're going to put the game on ice with like 20 seconds left. And my guy fumbles. So now we're in overtime. We get held to a field goal. So they've been doing pretty well. We know we're in trouble. And I was so excited for Mason because he made the tackle that cost the fumble and recover to win the game. And, that was a game where I told him, look, son, you don't count your chickens before they hatch. These are life lessons. It's so silly. It's a video game. But the winning and losing and the feeling of winning and losing is the same. So very valuable. And what he learned today is don't count your chickens before they hatch. Never believe that you're going to lose. Always fight to win. And ultimately, even in a scenario where things aren't going your way, if you give your best effort, guess what? One of those things that you can't, that take no talent, you just give it. One of those 10 things I've got on this wall in this room, and good things happen. And so I was proud of that today. Thank you all. Proud of you for being here for 2 hours. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll be here tomorrow at 6 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio and live on YouTube. As always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com. Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at cofsc.com. Then visit our 12,000 square foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit cofsc.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes, another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger, 2 if you're very overweight, and 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio prediabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400. WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports Trending now.
The Washington Nationals are already up 6-0 at Miami in the top of the third inning. A couple of runs in on a home run from Bryce Harper. Harper is the leading vote getter for the NL All-Stars. Ryan Zimmerman of Washington still leads at first base over the Cubs' Anthony Rizzo, and Washington's Daniel Murphy has a big lead at second base. The National League catcher will likely be Buster Posey. After a rain delay, a brief one at the start in Baltimore, the Orioles are in the bottom of the second and scoreless against the Cleveland Indians. Giants at Braves, delayed by rain at the start. They are due to go in about 15 minutes. Orioles shortstop J.J. Hardy could miss 2 months with a broken wrist as he was hit by a pitch. The 76ers officially acquired